Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. It's still the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. It's so fast that I need to come up for air. I feel like the gray-bearded adventurer Dale Sanders. And on this past Thursday, let's recognize Dale Sanders as he completed at the age of 87 on last Thursday, September the 8th.
Oldest man
to paddle the Mississippi River from the source to the sea. And
that's a Guinness Book of World Records.
And we're going to try to get Dale on the show next week. What an amazing accomplishment. 2,000 miles of paddling, and started on his birthday on June the 14th when he was 87, and he did it Thursday. So, all right, we're not going to age these next two guys, but I know they know a lot about catfishing. I'm going to let Ron Wong introduce this segment because we having it's a big event. Big fish, big event, big everything. Even the name is big. The name gets me excited. Ron, why don't you introduce these next two guys?
Hey, coming up September 14th through the 17th at the Bass Pro Shops at the Pyramid, the Mississippi River Monsters Catfish Tournament that has become absolutely huge.
Yes.
And who better to talk about that big tournament here in Memphis, Tennessee, than Glen Thomas and George Young. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Morning, Ron. How are you?
Doing well. George, you founded this tournament here several years ago, and it's just become so huge that you only limit so many boats. And how long did it take you this past year to fill this tournament?
Yeah. Well, we opened the entries back in March 1st, and took us 58 minutes to fill the tournament.
58 minutes?
Yeah, and how many boats was that?
That's 110 boats, approximately.
Is that not amazing?
That is.
That tells you how big this tournament is and how popular it is. Glenn, talk a little bit about what's going to be going on starting September 14th all the way through the tournament on the 17th.
You know, Ron, the Mississippi River Monsters event is probably one of the best, if not the most unique catfish tournament in the country.
Yes.
George, when he started off 7 years ago with this event, came up with the brilliant idea of creating Monster Week. Yeah. Because a lot of the anglers who come from all over the country, and these are some of the best anglers, catfish anglers around, they come in and they pre-fish, for the first, for several days prior to the event.
Right.
So George put in place what is called Monster Week.
Monster Week.
So on the 14th and 15th, the anglers that are out there pre-fishing can bring in their biggest fish of the day for a chance to win some great cash prizes. And they show up at the Mud Island Marina, and we weigh them in right there all day long.
And what time does that start?
That's what happens on Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
On Thursday night, we have the Monster Bash. We used to have the captain's meeting on Friday night.
Right.
But given that, everybody's got to, kind of leave there and get ready for the next tournament day, we figured we'd move it to Thursday night. Everybody could be relaxed. They can get up on Friday and they can, get rigged up and relax and get ready for the tournament day on Saturday. On Friday afternoon in the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid, we've got a great lineup of seminar speakers.
Seminars, okay.
So folks can come into the Bass Pro Pyramid on Friday afternoon between 1 and 4. And take in some great seminars, learn about catfishing. And then on Saturday, that's the event day. From about, you're going to have some vendors out there, some great food vendors, et cetera, at the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid in the parking lot. And at approximately 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we start the weigh-in. and we'll have all 100 teams, if not more, plus or minus, all coming in, weighing in these giant monster Mississippi River catfish. It's a great, great event.
And it's a drive-through weigh-in too, right, Glenn? And
yes, it is.
And all this is all open to the public. And I got to tell you something. I've attended these weigh-ins, folks, and if you want to see some big catfish, it's pretty unreal. And they'll also have these vendors of that have catfish tackle that you can go through, and these pros are pretty amazing. They'll stop and let you take a picture and everything else. Now on the Wednesday and Thursday event, Glenn, is that open to the public, the weigh-in, and what time does it start?
Yeah, if they want to stop down at the Mud Island Marina, they're welcome to. It's not that we don't have boats coming in every few minutes. We could go a couple of hours before we see somebody come in.
Yeah.
So it could be a little bit. I don't want to say boring because it's always exciting when somebody brings in a big catfish.
Yeah.
But there's going to be there'll be some time between boats coming in.
But that Saturday, go ahead, George. What are you going to say?
Saturday's the big weigh-in.
That's what we're talking about here for us. Big fish, spectacular. Ron's made great photographs of these things. George, you've been involved with this for a long time. If somebody said, well, I'd like to go to see that, how big a fish do we have is possible here? What are you talking about?
Well, we've had two fish over 100 pounds.
Yeah,
there you go.
So I think we're reaching probably 4 or 5. We've weighed in the 90s, but there's always 70s and 80s.
Hear that, folks? That is you got what? You got a 3 fish limit per boat, right? Is that right?
Yes, 3 fish limit per boat. We got 2 over 34 inches and 1 under 34 inches.
Right. George,
wow.
Way 7 years ago, 8 years ago, when you started this tournament, did you ever dream it would become what it is today?
No, I really hoped it would.
You hoped?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I really thought, the first year I'd done this tournament, I was just hoping to get 25 boats in it.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I thought anything over 25 will be a success. And we went, well over 100 every year.
Yeah.
And you have a big supporter here in the Memphis area, don't you, George?
Oh, yes, Mr. Bill Dance.
Mr. Bill Dance, he loves this event.
Dr. Bill Dance now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's Dr. Bill Dance. That's right.
Give me a break. Come on, all right.
And
yeah.
the
I heard he was going to pull one of Glenn's teeth.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, we're going to pay admission.
Okay, well, we'll have a crowd for that. But again, let me say now, we're talking to Glen Thomas and George Young about next weekend, as Ron has been explaining it so well. And I know, like we say, Bill is involved in this heavenly, knows this is a great resource, is the Mississippi River, George. And Glenn, why don't y'all speak to having it at the Pyramid and being able to showcase the river like that? What has that meant for the tournament?
It's meant everything. I'll tell you, David Hagel, the manager at the Bass Pro Pyramid,
yes,
and his associates just knocked themselves out to make this event better and better every year.
Yes.
So certainly it could never be done without the assistance of Bass Pro Shops and David Hagel and his group. You couldn't ask for a better backdrop of probably one of the most premier catfish destinations in the country, if not the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just a spectacular event. As I mentioned, George and everybody that's worked on the Mississippi River Monsters event have knocked themselves out to make it an event. And Ron, you've been there, you've seen it. It grows every year. There's always something a little bit different, and it just continues to grow and improve. So we certainly invite the public to come down and take in, this spectacular event. If you've been to a bass tournament or a crappie tournament, it doesn't compare to a catfish tournament, because when they bring these monsters out of the live wells, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's a struggle too to watch them pull those big catfish out, and of course, folks, there's no admission to see this weigh-in.
Ron.
Free.
Yes.
To see this weigh-in at the.
Well, we're going to charge Ron.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
no problem. Larry Ray will
I'll
be
pick
glad to pay for
I'll
it.
pick up his tab, so to speak. And, he drinks tabs. That's why I pick up his tab all the time.
We'll have a whole case of tab for him. How's
yeah,
that?
whole case. But really, this event.
Guys,
what?
Speaking of Bill Dance, Bill has participated in fishing this tournament every year.
Yeah.
And he will be there again this year. And he's always willing to sign autographs.
He sure is.
Yes.
Shake hands. And so any Bill Dance fans out there,
come on.
See Bill,
come on down.
to Bill, come on out.
And we love the decal, the monster. I mean, that's a scary-looking decal you got, man. I mean, you guys.
Oh, there's a whole story behind that, and I still haven't caught up and gotten even with George and Bill.
Well, we got to talk about that. Maybe we're going to talk about this.
Hey, when I see you there,
yeah,
we'll do a video interview about that.
Yeah, because I want y'all to know about this Monsters decal, and it's pretty cool. And folks, that's next weekend. Starts the 14th, but the big
14th and 15th are the right. 14th and 15th is Monster Week. And then the weigh-in happens over on Mud Island.
On the 17th at the Pyramid, all the weigh-ins, and we'll talk about it on next week's show. We're going to try to get Bill Dance on with us, and because the man loves catfishing. Guys, thank y'all very much for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and folks, put it on your calendar. That's a week from today. If you're going to go downtown and enjoy the Mississippi River, and at the same time. See some catfish that used to be about my size, but now I think they've gotten bigger than me now, so.
It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, George. Okay, buddies? All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Y'all have
Enjoy
a great
morning.
All right. George Young and Glen Thomas, before we wrap this thing up, we got about a minute here. It is a great event, folks, and as Ron mentioned, we'll put whatever we can on LarryRay.com. Some pictures from Ron or whatever it might be, but put it on your calendar. All right, we've done it. We got one segment left. It's hard to believe.
Going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Man, the time flies by when you're having a good time.
And we have a quiz in this last one that can win a prize. Okay, it's coming up, though. All right, who we have coming up?
Matt Harrison. I'm calling him Matty Sunshine.
Matty Sunshine.
Yeah,
all right,
Sunshine.
We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray with Matty Sunshine.